All right, so on the docket today we have WWE Legends. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
About? I'm just moving stuff. I was just moving stuff. I'm trying to put down some names. You know what I'm saying? Who we gonna talk about right here? So don't forget, which ones is the
No, I got it open in a different window, but I mean different tab.
Oh,
but anyway,
I don't have that file.
I sent you the file.
You sent me nothing.
Bullshit. I'm looking at it. And it says shared with
22 hours ago. This is the one.
No, it said I've shared this with you over a week ago, bro. It says shared with others, and the other one shared with Landon Taylor.
That's a suggestion. You didn't take.
That's not a suggestion. That is the fact. That is what happened. But yeah, on the docket today, the categories that we'll be going over is WWE Legends, kids movies, Americanized food, and black actors. So let's get this thing started. All WWE right. Legends.
Word.
So we have The Rock, Stone Cold,
which is basically the same thing. See, Rock, Stone. Never mind. Right.
Okay. All right. Ric Flair and The Undertaker. Yeah, you go ahead and go first.
Fuck. All right. This is difficult as fuck because what he did was choose the four guys that it's extremely difficult to decide you got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, they could basically be on the Mount Rushmore.
Exactly. But I do have reasons. So because of this.
Oh, yeah, Ric Flair's first.
Yeah, like Ric Flair is getting the fuck out of here. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, first, let me preface this by saying Ric Flair is probably the greatest world heavyweight champ there has ever been inside the wrestling sport. Now, there's going to be people that will say things about Bruno Sammartino, and he was certainly great. There are people that say certain things about Hulk Hogan. I would completely disagree, but I understand why you would think so. But Ric Flair, nah, B, during the time of his run, all them years, the different various types of wrestlers they had him perform against was so varied, so crazy, and he managed to survive long enough to keep the belt because he was popular enough to be able to hold on to it. And they go, it doesn't make sense for him to lose. It doesn't make sense for him to lose right now. So let's get that straight out the break. The main reason I'm getting Ric Flair the fuck out of here is because I heard about the way him, Ole Anderson, and some of the other four horsemen treated my man Teddy Long, yo.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who don't know who Teddy Long is, you're not a fan of wrestling. Teddy Long was a black referee and was in the game for years. I remember watching matches he's called, legendary matches that he's called. And then what happened later on in his career, he went to the WWE. He's a referee for a little while. Then they bumped him up to a manager. Well, actually, he started being a manager over in WCW first, right?
Yeah.
And with the Harlem Heat dudes or whatever. And then he came over to WWE, did a little bit more refereeing. Then they put him into a manager spot. He was dope. He's funny. He was really quick-witted, a lot more quick-witted than I thought he would be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he was definitely responsible for a lot of funny moments that I remember watching wrestling at that time. And he happens to be an older black gentleman.
Yep.
The way Ric Flair and Ole Anderson treated him, calling him nigga, all this other crazy shit, disrespecting him, threatening him, and all this other shit. Man, fuck Ric Flair. And because he is on Mount Rushmore, and I need something to be able to parse, because if that shit didn't happen, Rick probably wasn't going to go nowhere.
If that didn't happen, I can say he wouldn't be first for me. He
sure wouldn't have been first.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been first.
He damn sure wouldn't have been first. So for that, Ric Flair, you got to get the fuck out of here.
And same. For every single reason that you just mentioned. Yeah, I just can't. There's no way in the world. Like when I found that out, I was like, no, not Rick. And the thing about it is,
I was hurt.
The thing about it is, people can change. I believe he has.
He probably has.
But That doesn't mean it didn't happen. This isn't.
And I need a reason.
I need a reason to get him off the list.
Get him out of here, and that's the reason.
And that's the reason. It just is what it is. Like
facts.
I
heard the story. I heard the story from 3 different sources. One source is a principal source, and that was Teddy Long.
Right.
And to hear the way he talked about it, you can hear in his voice that it's still bothering him. Like, nah, man, nah. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
No, I mean, it is what it is.
And it hurt me to do, yo, because I'm going to tell you something. Ric Flair was a man you love to hate.
Oh,
he was the guy. Yo, I'm going to tell you how influential he was. And this is why it was so disappointing to see that he was that type of asshole back then. Because in my neighborhood, wrestling was the thing, you understand? Mm-hmm. And every kid around there at some point or the other did 3 things. They strutted. Like Ric Flair, after they roasted somebody, got a good jerk off, they would start doing the Ric Flair strut. Word. The second thing they would do, you was going to get chopped, nigga. You could be sitting there, talking about whatever, and out of the blue, nigga hit you with a chop. You know what I'm saying? The third thing, yo, I'm telling you, I done got caught numerous times, and I done caught dudes numerous times with that. Thanks. You know what I'm saying? The other thing that every kid around there has done was the woo. Yo, everybody around there did that shit. And I grew up, in case you didn't know, in an all-black neighborhood, all right?
No, wait. I don't believe you.
Oh, it's true. It's
I need receipts.
True.
Okay. I need receipts.
Okay, so I can just give you Emerson Village circa 1980.
Doesn't exist. Not a real place.
Anyway, like, yeah, we was riding with Rick, yo. Even if those of us that hated him, we still liked him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You still liked him. So
that's facts.
You know, you got to get the fuck out of here for that.
Yeah, because of the solidarity on this, it's back on you. So,
oh, damn it. All right, so now, right, here's
the hard part.
Here's the super, super hard part.
Not for me, but go ahead.
For me, it definitely is because for those of you that maybe haven't guessed it yet, if you listen to my stage name, it's Tombstone the Dead Man. Clearly inspired by The Undertaker. I was a huge fan of The Undertaker, and not even his in-ring, because early on when he first started wrestling, his in-ring wasn't all that great. He could do better than that, because I saw old matches of him when he was in the Texas
Mean Mark Callis.
Mean Mark Callis. He could do better than what he did, but to stay in line with the character and to sell the character, he had these slow plodding matches where he's the dead man, so he's zombie-like, and you know. But the things that were exciting about that match is the story. Those matches were the storytelling, because when they would hit him with some shit, he'd fall, and the whole psych part of the match was that, can you kill a dead man? Can you kill a dead man? And literally there'd be times where he received some of the worst punishment, and he's laying there and like, he finally put down the dead man. And then all of a sudden he rises. Like, yo, the crowd, the pop. Plus, there's been very few wrestlers in the history of wrestling to get what is known as the Undertaker pop. When that bell goes off with his theme music, doom, the pop he would get rivaled anybody that was popular at that time. So, as you can see, I'm a big fan. I was a big fan of The Undertaker. And he got better as he got older. Unlike a lot of some of these other guys, he started adding more moves to his repertoire. He started doing MMA shit in there. Like, yo, he was doing some shit. Mm-hmm. But as much as I have to say all of those positive things about The Undertaker, I'm going to have to get rid of Stone Cold. He's got to go.
All right.
Stone Cold's I'm going to tell you why Stone Cold's got to go.
Okay.
I liked everything about Stone Cold. Mm-hmm. Everything about him. But his character itself was not relatable to me. The whole bionic redneck, I drink beers. I don't drink. So me emulating him was not a thing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a thing for me. And since I have emulated...
Wait. But you're not a limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, willing and dealing son of a gun either.
But I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Who didn't want to be? I wanted the fancy robe. I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be able to do the mic work the way he had. I wanted to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So with Stone Cold, I never really wanted to be Stone Cold. I just enjoyed watching him and his shenanigans and shit. But I never really wanted to be Stone Cold. So I can't say that about the Undertaker or The Rock.
Okay.
So Stone Cold got to get the fuck up out of here.
I understand.
Sorry, Rattlesnake.
All right. That's cool. You wrong, but that's cool. Yeah, this the first two were easy for me. Undertaker gotta go. No, I just was never a big fan, like ever in my entire life. Like watching, like Undertaker was probably.
Well, wait a minute. Do you remember him as the American Badass?
Yes, that was horrible.
No,
that was the absolute worst.
No. It was horrible early on.
No, it was trash.
No, dude, the feuds.
See, you talk about and
no,
bro. No. When he was the American Badass, it was horrible. When he went to Big Evil, it was okay.
Oh, okay.
You talking about Big Evil?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. Big Evil was the truth, yo.
Yeah, Big Evil was much better.
Yo.
The American Badass was trash to me, like 100% trash. Like.
But I think you missed the dead
incorrectly. I spoke incorrectly. I didn't mean to say I was never a fan, but I was a fan of the Dead Man gimmick. And
when he came back and he wasn't the Dead Man,
it was the worst thing in the world.
Because it did hit me too. Like they tried to blend him with they gave him the long black coat, but then he had the bandana around his head. And then you riding on a motorcycle. And I ain't gonna lie, when he first came back and I saw him like that, I was like, that ain't who I wanted to come back.
It's like motorcycles are cool, but the rest
not Ghost Rider though. So
yeah, I'm not. When the Big Evil came, I was like, all right, this is much better.
Yeah. He was also funnier in the ring, like with his word. Like he was
yes, definitely. But American Badass was absolutely trash. Like horrible.
I will concede that.
It was, like I said, I was. All right, so from the beginning, with this whole, there's this mystery egg, and we're going to find out who's in the egg come Survivor Series. And then it turns out that it was the gobbledygooker.
Oh,
and then, but there is a new debut happening tonight, and it's the Undertaker. All right, cool. All right, bet. I don't like the fact that you just did that.
Right.
But whatever, I'm going to get this guy a chance. So, like I said, Dead Man, all the stuff with Kane, all that's I was like, yes, I'm feeling this. But the thing about it is, kayfabe, I was always rooting for the people that were against him. Not like because he was a bad guy. Even when he was a good guy, I was still on the side of the people that were against him. So like,
never. Even when he was a bad guy and was doing fuck shit, like when he told Jim Ross, he saved Jim Ross for about to kiss Vince McMahon's ass.
Yeah.
Then, he said, Jim, was you about to go out here and really kiss this man's ass? And he went, I absolutely wasn't. The crowd popped. And he was like, is that because you think you're better than me? I said, yes! The heel turn! Yo, I love that shit, yo. And while everybody was booing him, and I was cheering. I was in the house cheering, like, yo, yes.
I understand your perspective. I get it. But again, I was just always on the other side.
So you must have been really disappointed all on WrestleManias.
No, because for the majority of that time, the streak wasn't actually a thing. He just so happened to be winning his matches.
Yeah,
and they weren't all against good people either. They were just matches. And eventually somebody realized, like, oh, hey, he's never lost.
He wasn't the only one, though. He wasn't the only one.
No.
There was, I think Chris Jericho had never lost too.
Edge had a streak.
Yep.
Yeah, it was interesting. But I will say, like, as I think I've shown along the way of this podcast, I don't really let my bias get in the way of being objective. That's why he's on this list.
Right.
Because
Facts.
he is one of the greats.
Yeah.
Without question.
Yeah.
There's no way. He just never really did it for me. So.
Well, you never really was a fan of death. So it's not like.
Well, no, that's true too. But
it's not like.
Again, like, no, you know what's the funny thing about it is, I've told the story a lot about how like my first two CDs that I ever bought with my own money were like Eminem and Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
And even the fact that he had Limp Bizkit as his theme song didn't sway me. I was like, they wasted a perfectly good theme song.
No, they didn't. Shut up.
They wasted this licensing on
No, they didn't.
this guy. Like, what the fuck? What is going on?
Worked.
Why would you do that? I didn't know. Hold up. It was the American. I'm not with it.
When they were selling the sweat, he was selling shit. Like, yo, it was working.
No. When the Dead Man came back, I was like, I did pop for that.
I didn't pop for when the Dead Man came back to like the original. I didn't pop for it. You know why? Because in my mind, it lost the appeal when he came there first and was doing that. Not many people saw him in Texas in World Class Wrestling. I mean, he wasn't even really a super popular dude in World Class. And then when he went to WCW, he was only in that somewhat popular heel tag team with Dan Spivey for a little while. You know what I'm saying? But when he came there, he was a relative unknown to a lot of people. And I only knew him because I was such a fanatic about it. But even I knew he wasn't popular over there. So this whole, is he dead? Is he really alive shit? It was dope. And then when they did the other shit, it was cool to see him evolve as a character. But the problem with that is we saw that he had a wife. We saw this, there's a lot of shit. That the mystery was, you're not dead, nigga. We know, all right? We can't even suspend disbelief anymore.
I could. Because here's the thing. Like I said, my favorite incarnation of Undertaker is the Dead Man. It just is what it is. So since I hated the American Badass so much, and like I said, Big Evil was cool. Big Evil was cool.
I didn't have beef with Brock Lesnar. That was funny,
Big Evil was cool. That joint where Paul Heyman was about to fill the tank up with cement with Paul Bearer in it, and then he ran him off, and then Undertaker got up there. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it myself." Oh, that's classic. That's classic. That's classic. But again, I'm sorry, Mark, you gotta go.
All right, so what we got left, is I have Undertaker and The Rock, and you have Stone Cold and The Rock.
Indeed.
All right. So, out of the two, I gotta say, Undertaker gotta go, yo. Undertaker's got to go. And the reason I say he's got to go is because the one thing that Undertaker never did that actually disappointed me was he didn't leave the sport in time to do other shit. I felt like that Dead Man persona could have been taken someplace. Like, even if Vince got a cut of it because he created it, like I could have saw that in some sort of horror movies or some type of, shit. And I always thought big things from, because that shit was very cinematic. Like, even when they did the his Titantron video, and they would have his eyes rolled in his head and the lightning and all that shit. I'm like, yo, there's so much other shit you could do with that.
That's a fact.
And he stayed there.
Yep.
And he didn't go. And I think that also helped to hurt his legacy a bit, because it got to a point where, since you're here, we're going to have you on every WrestleMania, whether you're in shape or not to be able to do it or not. And that's some of that. Don't get me wrong. It seemed like he took a whole year to heal up.
Yeah.
Just so he could give everything he had in that match. Yep. And he did, I mean, the spots he did with Shawn Michaels, incredible. Like, these are some of his best matches happened later in his career,
That's a fact.
But it got to a point where it was like, come on, I don't even want to see it. Come on, I was like, when Brock Lesnar beat him, I was happy because I thought he was going to retire. I was like, finally. Like,
WrestleMania is in a couple weeks. I do not want to see a Undertaker match.
I don't. I just don't. So he gotta go. I'm giving it to The Rock. So
Facts.
finally, at the end of this list for me, The Rock, yo.
No, I got you. I got you. Yeah, so I got Stone Cold and The Rock clearly. Yeah. For several of the reasons that you gave.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't I can't take Steve any further along his journey. I'm sorry, Steve.
Yeah,
it's been an honor.
Right. Right.
But this is
go
where
check
your
out
journey
go check out his podcast. It's dope.
Yeah.
Yo. It's dope. But,
oh yeah, definitely. But I just can't.
Yo, it's The Rock.
The Rock brings so many other things to the world that Come
on, like everything from it's not that every incarnation of him was dope. It wasn't when he first came there.
No, Rocky Maivia was trash.
Rocky Maivia was trash, and he started getting good when he became a heel, and that's when people started fighting. And then when he did the heel turn, because he evolved as a heel, he was just your average heel with a little gimmick here and there, and then when he was the corporate champ, oh my God, that's when, oh shit, this is The Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when he evolved,
and then he turned face again. Then he came back as Hollywood Rock.
I hated Hollywood Rock.
That's the point.
I hated Hollywood.
That was the point.
No,
that was
I don't
exactly
mean I
the point.
hated him as being a bad guy, because actually, if you think about it, when Rock evolved from the corporate champ, he was still mean to people, yo. He was still mean as shit to people. You know what I mean? Like, so he didn't really change his shit up at all. It's just that the scheduling, who they had him fighting against, he was doing the mean shit he was doing to the good guys. He was doing that shit to the bad guys. But I didn't like Hollywood Rock, because Hollywood Rock was a coward. He was a coward,
it
yo.
Worked.
It worked.
I'm
gonna give you a couple of reasons why it didn't work. One of the reasons it didn't work is even when The Rock was like the bad guy, he was still brave. Like, I'm gonna fight this nigga. I'm gonna fight this nigga.
Yes.
Secondly, he lost about 60 fucking pounds, and he comes back in this motherfucker looking like a cruiserweight, and they still yelling 260 pounds. I'm going, get the fuck out of here. No, he's not. He lost all that weight to be in the movies. He didn't give off the same bully boy.
Neither here nor there. He was not a bully at that point. That was the entire point. The entire point was the entire point. It was an allegory on the idea of wrestling being fake.
One of that allegory also be that he was a shell of his former self because of Hollywood?
No, nigga. He wasn't. It wouldn't have made sense if he admitted that. That doesn't go with the story.
Not for him to admit. I'm talking about for us to see the subtext.
I'm not talking about
was 120 pounds.
He was not 120 pounds.
Nigga, his pants was sagging.
He was 120 pounds. He was not 120 pounds. There's The Rock probably was never 120 pounds.
Well, he probably was. He
might have been 120 pounds when he was born.
Look, all I'm saying is
but he did lose a lot of weight.
That is the incarnation of him. I wanted to see him and Goldberg fight, but not like that. That wasn't even a good match.
I liked Hollywood Rock, yo.
No.
I liked Hollywood Rock because it was the whole thing.
The only thing I liked about the Hollywood Rock was his
songs.
Was out of his promo. Yeah, the promo shits. But see, because I was an overall wrestling fan, so I looked at in-ring, mic work, presentation, and stories they was involved with. Even though a lot of times it's not their fault that the story's trash, but sometimes they can take a trash story and make that shit into something just because of who the fuck they was. You know what I'm saying? So, I wasn't feeling Hollywood Rock, except for when he sung with the guitar.
Right. Hollywood Rock's promos were ridiculous. But anyway, all right. Ridiculous. So, for a quick recap, Toon got rid of Ric Flair first, then Stone Cold, then The Undertaker, and he's left with the Great One.
The Great One.
I got rid of Ric Flair first, then The Undertaker, then Stone Cold, and I was left with